No bidding this morning. I'm sorry. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this another day. Fan on in the window, and it sounds super, super loud to me. And the elusive kitty cat down here in the corner. I don't know how long she's going to stay there, but hopefully I'm able to keep her at least partly in vision down there. At least some of her, since she's barely in vision there. So, thumbs up. Oh boy, I am not a whole lot to talk about because of the heat, how it affects me, and more. Because at the end of the day, well, I'll lead up to that. Yesterday I did my vlogging, and then it started to get warm, and I have fans on in the windows, and I try to keep it cool, and I had some stuff in this door to keep it cool, but it was still getting warm. And then time passed as I was relaxing, and then I wanted to record something. And I was trying to record some more Witchhaven, which I had been able to successfully record some time back, like a week or so. And but I couldn't. Nothing was working. It was just failure after failure, no matter what I was doing. I had to restart my computer a couple times. And I'm talking restart, not just, shut down, turn back on, but restart so it goes out of the sort of hibernation mode cycle that it's in. And I'm going to keep tugging on my shirt, especially my fat rolls. Yay. But so I finally just had to give up. I give up. I give up. I'm going to go take a shower. So I went and took a shower. I am growing out the hair on the top of my head, which is only going to go so far since it's really, really thin back here. And long hair that's thin just tends to cling and look really, thin and awful in my view. So it's not going to get very long, but I just wanted to get a bit longer here. So we'll see how that happens. But I finished up with my shower, and then I went on Walkies. I had to go on Walkies because I needed to pay my rent at the very least. It was really hot yesterday. I was unsure how far I was going to be able to go after that. I needed to get water at the very least, so it was like, can I go to just Safeway, or is it going to be enough that I can go to Walmart? So I managed to head up to Walmart. It was hot, but not that hot. And Jan in the comments said, it's like, can't you pay it electronically, your rent and all that? I don't mind walking. Even in the heat, I don't mind walking. I walk for my health, so any excuse to walk is good. I don't have a vehicle, so my getting out and doing things requires me to walk, but that's good for you. So I don't mind walking, even in the heat. I do it so I can stay alive. That's why when I'm out walking, if I have to make a small detour around stuff, or, there's a flying bug. We have lots of bugs that are flying around of late. It's that kind of season. But having to make detours, or do an extra walk, do an extra this, that, or other. I've had people that have been apologetic for being in the way, and I've had to go around it. I don't mind. I'm walking because I'm walking. Another excuse to walk a little bit isn't going to bother me. But I went Walkies up to Walmart and back, and of course, at one point, I couldn't stop in time, and I had water in the front of my walker, so it was really off. Now there's another tiny vehicle bug spiraling around in front of my eyes. That's what happens when you have an open window. Oh, I threw my glasses away now. It's turning into just that kind of day. Anyway, though. So, went walking, came, and there was the heat and stuff, got back. I can't remember exactly where I was, but got back, and it was hot, and just got a letter. I am freaked out by this, and pissed off, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But I couldn't do anything about the letter, and then had some falling asleep issues because of the heat, went to bed for me early. Now, in the middle of all that, not being able to do stuff because of the heat, being frustrated because things weren't working right, and not being able to understand why, about a year and some ago, I got a packet from Social Security saying, we've been trying to get in contact with you the last couple times. If you don't send us back this stuff, we may have to cut off your Social Security. So I filled out the form. I put it in the official return envelope. I put it in the mail. They had a phone number that not only didn't work, as in it took you to the wrong department, it would just ring and ring and ring and ring and ring and ring and then just hang up at best. So, for a month, I tried to call and couldn't get through. And that was the number you needed to call if you wanted to do it by phone. So finally, I mailed off the thing. And then for 2 more months, I called that number trying to see if they had gotten it and if they needed any further information from me. After that, because I hadn't heard anything, I decided that they must have gotten it. And everything was fine. I got a letter, as stated, last night, saying, since you never sent us back any of the information that we requested, if we don't get this information from you by the 14th of this month, we're going to cut you off your disability. So I did everything I was supposed to, and they didn't get it, after making it almost impossible for me to get it to them, which is part of the point. Because if you can't make your way through the system, then they get to take you out and save money. So now, without a phone number even to call, I have to figure out how to contact the people to talk to them and say, what happened? Why? So, 2023 has again not been a good year. Because, at the very least, I was hoping to have disability to help keep me alive, even if nobody could help me any further than they have, because I've had a lot of people help on the GoFundMe. I'm able to keep the Comcast going as long as I'm going to be here at a bare minimum. So thank you, each and every person that does that. It is helping. But if everything gets cut off, and of course there was a massive amount of red discoloration all the way up my left leg when I woke up. And it's sore, of course. My appointment to see my doctor is in a month. I don't know if I'm not going to have to go to the ER because of my leg. 2023 has not been a good month. Now, I have an appointment with my therapist today. I am going to talk with him about what's going on and see if there's any way he can help in the process. He can't do anything. He's not a part of Social Security. He's just my therapist. But if there's any way that he could find me out some information, such like that, or at least help calm me down so I can think properly. So here's a hoping. Now, there was one video that I've watched that talks about one of the bad effects of what's been happening because of all social media and such. It is true that, checking the time, it is true that attention spans have been getting shorter. But that is not a biological thing. That is a cultural / technological thing, because it is things like social media on the electronic equipment that we have that is making our attention span shorter and shorter. Now, we are being trained to do that. We have been trained to do that. The various places out there, the various marketing over the years has cut things down to a shorter and shorter time. And it's all by design. Even though they may not have said, let's try to cut it down as short as possible, it's how can we get our message out there as quick as possible, and working on that. And here we are. Which has been pointed out in several videos that our brains need downtime. And we're not getting downtime because how many people out there doom scroll or just scroll on their phones all the time? When my housemates are here and they're watching television, they're also on their phones, scrolling through Facebook or whatever. You need downtime for your brain. And this is not just what is the word for these people? The pseudoscience types. No, this is real scientist people saying that, that study the brain. We need downtime. If you don't have that downtime, you're stuck. And not in a good way because of various other things, but that's when you're creative. When your brain has nothing else to do, that's when you're creative. That's why when you're trying to be creative, it often doesn't work. But when you're doing something where your brain has nothing else to do, that's where, you come up with those sparks. And when you don't have that downtime, you can't be creative in any way. That's how I do most of my creative thinking when I'm out on walkies, because there's nothing else to think about. I'm not scrolling on a phone. Number one, I don't have a phone, but I don't have anything, web pages like Twitter pulled up. I don't have Facebook pulled up, which I use only because other people have it on Messenger, and I talk to people with Messenger, so I got Facebook for that. But there's all sort. I forgot I love ADHD. Yeah, the short-term stuff I can't scroll on web pages, so I can't watch YouTube, I can't do any of those things. It's just time when my brain has nothing else to do aside from, watch for things. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about this. So that's when I do most of my creative stuff. And if it weren't for that time, I wouldn't have any of my cryptid world, my glamour stuff. There wouldn't be a Razor's Edge, there wouldn't be any of the Arcana stuff that I'm working on. There'd be nothing. Your brain needs downtime. Yes, I was talking about when I went on walkies yesterday. I'm amazed my arm is doing as well as it did. But then I stopped in time when my wheels went boom and stopped. So my walker just came to an abrupt halt as I was walking. And as I stated, I had water in the front. 2-gallon jugs of water, which makes it so while it's not going to fall forward, if you give it even the slightest pull upward or impetus, it's going to go whoa. Well, it came to a stop as I was walking, so I stopped walking. The walker went over because of the water. As much as I tried to stop it, and then whunk, it fell straight over, and I was leaning over it. Now, I didn't fall. I just followed it with my hands on the handles. So I had to lift it back up and then pick all the stuff up out of the middle of the street and then go on from there. So my arm and shoulder had quite a shock, and it didn't feel good last night, but doing okay right now. So, on the 19th, I'm going to find out. I can't remember if I mentioned this. There's been a couple things where I may have surprised him just because of how well things work on my body at 60. Because my hearing is still exceptionally good. In fact, when I put on my headphones, I hear stuff that I can't even hear with the headphones off, because the headphones cancel out all of the things like the fans, high and low range tones, and all the mid stuff comes right in and I can hear it great. I have to wear earphones. I have to wear earplugs when I go to sleep because the world is too loud. I hear way better than I have any right to because I have abused my hearing badly. And yet, now if I can remember what else I was going to talk about on that. I can't remember. It was something just about my doctor, but oh well. So, taking a look at my list on here to see if there's anything that I've got just other than the therapy today, and I'm going to talk with my therapist about everything. There's one I've mentioned before. One of the reasons that I actually have most of the settings that I've got is because of an actual subreddit called Bone Hurting Juice. And if it weren't for just the subreddit Bone Hurting Juice, I wouldn't have a lot of the setting that I have. Because I don't know if you know of Bone Hurting Juice or not. I'll give it a quick explanation, and then once again on the thing of anti-humor. Bone Hurting Juice is generally made up of comics there that have the original words taken out, new words put in, and they generally refer to one of two things. They make a intensely unfunny, or they make it oh, I've drank some bone hurting juice, ow, ow, oh, my bones hurt. And that's not funny either. But when they make them non-funny, it's purposefully, there is no punchline, and there's no punchline because it's just not funny. It's not a joke. It's anti-humor. This stuff is so unfunny that it's funny. And you have to get into that kind of humor or it's nothing to you. And as a side thing, I watch a couple of these like MK and Easy Peasy and all these places where they read out these things. I don't listen and watch them for the stuff. It's the people's reactions. And one of the guys that does readings was doing a bone hurting juice, and just they don't understand it at all. They don't know why people find it funny. They're doing their best to try and make it funny, but they don't understand at all. And I feel bad for that poor person because I find anti-humor like Bone Hurting Juice, the subreddit, just absolutely hysterical. The less funny something is, the funnier it is. And especially the Bone Hurting Juice ones, because if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have had the dumb idea of having the three adventurers walk into a potion shop, having one of them finding bone hurting juice, talking to the clerk, finding out exactly what it is, and then, it's just juice that makes your bones hurt for like at least 8 hours. Not believing it, the first guy drinks it, and then falls to the ground, groaning and moaning because his bones hurt. And then the other person comes up and going, "This is bone hurting juice? What? Is it real? What is happening?" And I'll try it too then. And boom, and then they're down on the ground and groaning and moaning. And so the third person, having watched the first two people do that, they end up downing some bone hurting juice with all three of them on the ground groaning about how much their bones hurt. Just a stupid, quick idea that turned, of course, into Scarbat, Milliander, and Ulchenka, and that entire setting, which I have been trying to figure, is now either a layer on the razor's edge or is an island on the inside. The island because There is the inside, there is the outside. These are two universes that are conjoined. Each of the razor's edges is between these two universes, a connection, but they lead to this other universe that is an infinite ocean of possibility and potential. And all land masses are islands within this infinite ocean, created by the people and the ocean as sort of a reward and playground for the people of the infinite ocean. These islands are formed when the energy comes upwards, it get down, converted into our universe, which isn't our universe, of course. It's just a copy of perfect copy, so that I can write about a place that's, our world. But all of this energy, there's an island, and this energy rains down, and it's filled with templates that are put in by those that live within the ocean, which is everyone and everything, which helps to form everyone and everything on the islands, on the razor's edge, and then the down converted energy keeping the outward universe rejuvenated and re-energized, so that it's lasting just logarithmically, exponentially longer than any universe possibly could. So that's what I'm trying to do with them. And of course, there's still Scarbat and Milliander and Olchenka, which I'm going to say real quick. I have talked about how Scarbat and Olchenka are in love. And there is really nothing that they can do physically that they know of yet anyway. But they do enjoy sleeping together. But it's actually just sleep. Olchenka is one of these zombie creatures, just animated skeletal human remains. She has downtime. Just as people have to sleep, she has downtime, where she is basically asleep as well. If they don't have this, if it is kept away from them, they will eventually fall into downtime anyway at some time when their body just says, we need it now. So, they like to just sleep at night together. Olchenka enjoys the body warmth of Scarbat, and Scarbat just loves Olchenka, but there's not a whole lot that he gets out of this, because after all, when he goes to sleep, there are just the coarse, dried, weather-worn, skeletal human remains entangled with him, and when he awakes, there are still just the dried, weather-worn human remains that he's meant to sleep with. But when he looks at her skull with the empty eyes and her jaws laced together and her empty rib cage and the long bones of her arms and legs, he doesn't see a dead person. He doesn't see just these dead, empty, coarse, rough bones. He sees Olchenka, a woman. Which, these beings are the ultimate gender fluid. Skeletons have no gender. Skeletons have no sex. Each of these skeletal beings decides on a daily basis, what do they feel like? There are some that feel male one day, feel female the next, feel somewhere in between or on an outer edge the next after. There are some that, like Olchenka, just feels female and stays that way. There are some that feel male and stayed that way. There are some that slowly drift. It all depends on how they're feeling. But Olchenka just coarse, dried, dead human bones animated by a magical zombie plague isn't just dried human remains to scarf at. When he wakes up entangled with these weather-worn human remains, it's Olchenka, the woman he loves. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to turn off this spotlight, and I forgot to put something over the top of that light over there. Yay, my apologies. It's way too bright. I'm far too washed out. But I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. And before I do that, thank you so much. You can't read that, but it says patrons, yay, or yay patrons. But these are 8 people off of my list who are Patreon patrons. Thank you, each and every one of you. Without your help, I would be hosed like an absolute Christmas monkey, especially with all the stuff that's going on. Oh my God. 2023 has been a horrible year for me, on top of just a horrible lifetime. Ugh. So thank you all very, very much, and each person that has donated to my GoFundMe, and everybody who in the past has donated to my PayPal. Thank you all, greatly appreciated. And now, I have to keep tugging my shirt down here because the tight shirt shots where we're really going to accent everything up here, those are for the OnlyFans. And again, we have to keep these covered because my man rack, the glory of the man rack, would blind all those who are unprepared. Now we have Lumeria. I will do my very best to stay hydrated. I mean, I've got a big old jug like this, and I drink a couple of these because of the heat. I try to not stress out my kidneys by not drinking too much, but even drinking these, I'm still not drinking enough because of the heat. So I'm doing my best. We have It's Relit, thumbs up, and thank you very, very much. Ugh, heat, I die. And JAYY, thumbs up, thank you much. And Amelia is still sleeping down there. Hopefully you can still see at least part of her. We have, oh, I can't even read it. I'm so far away. Borzoi, because of the Borzoi dog. BORZOI, I think. Thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And we have Big T, thumbs up and thank you. And then there's Made in Canada, greatly appreciated. I love cats so very, very much. And there is Jan, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, greatly appreciated. And Larry from space, greatly appreciated. I had a day, and that's sometimes the best we can hope for. Adonis Rivera, oh, I love cats. They are definitely awesome. RJ Mitchell, thumbs up, and thank you very, very much. Chris Ryan, greatly appreciated. 77 Arcturus, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Dave, I can't read the last part. There's dash, and then there's something, and I literally can't read it. But thank you very, very much. And Jason Cunningham, greatly appreciated. And that is it. Thumbs up. Thank you very, very much, each and every one of you. It is appreciated getting me out of my head into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a short time. Yay! Yay! So yes, I have therapy in less than an hour, so I've got to edit this, start it rendering. It's all going to get uploaded and such and posted afterwards, so this is going to be late. Yay. But hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. I'm going to hopefully get done the things that I need to get done. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And this is like a half hour. I am so sorry, each and every person. Thank you, each and every one of you that watches to the end. It is appreciated. I don't know why or how these are getting longer and longer. The gabapentin must be really slowing me down. My apologies. But, controller in hand, you take care. I will see you.